I'm gonna get me a religion. I said I'm gonna join the Baptist church. Yeah, get me religion. I said I'm gonna join the Baptist church. And I thought I want to be a Baptist preacher, so I wouldn't have to worry. You know, one deacon looked around, and he began to grin. And he began to grin. He said, you know one thing, Elder, I believe I'll go back to Ballhausen again. You know, one sister jumped up, and she began to shout. Yeah, one sister jumped up, and she began to shout. He said, you know one thing, Elder, I'll be glad when this old corn liquor's gone out. That time I grabbed up a suitcase and I took out down the road. Out down the road. I said, farewell now, church. May the good Lord bless your soul. Another deacon looked around. Said, sister, why'd you hurry? Drinks corn liquor, then you wild a harmless skin. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, my holy soul. Not for my waiting gold.
All right, that was Preachin' the Blues, and this is part 2 of the Guitar of Son House. And we're going to be focused on open D and standard tuning. Now, with the audio that is included and with his other recordings as well. I just chose open D as just just a general tuning because he tunes high, he tunes low, it's kind of all over the place. So I opted for open D as instead of open E and thereabouts. And before we get into tune, if you're just starting here on part 2 rather than going to the open G part, a few things. I'm using finger picks, which of course Son House did not do, and that's going to change the feel of his songs a little bit, but still able to do what he did and get the sound that he got with finger picks. Other thing is strings. This is just a medium gauged set, although I've changed the 13 to a 15. So other than that, it's a straight medium set. The other thing that Son House did that I'm not doing is he used a plain steel 3rd string, and that's something that I have not done just for personal choice. I prefer the wound versus the unwound, and again, that's up to you as to whether or not you would like to do plain or wound 3rd string. And lastly, a slide choice. I'm going to use a glass slide. That's my preference. He used a copper slide, and there's very, very subtle difference in tone between the two. So again, just preference. I'm going to use a glass one. And other than that, we will get into tune here. Let's get into open D tuning, and the way that we are going to do that is, if you're going from standard tuning, we're going to take our 6th string and our 1st string and move them down to D. So we've got our 4th string, which is D, so match our 6. And our 1st. Next, we've got our A string, which is going to stay the same. But our B string is going to be tuned down to meet that A. So our 5th and our 2nd are going to be the same. And lastly, our 3rd string is going to be tuned down to about F sharp, and as you can tell, if you take your 4th fret, 4th string, you can hear how that's not right on. And the reason for that is because when I strum it, I want that open D. I want a D chord. And if I had it dead on, I wouldn't get that D. Each guitar is going to be a little bit different, so you might just have to adjust that 3rd string down to F sharp and maybe a little bit below that to get it to sit on that nice D chord. So the first song that we're going to take a look at is Pony Blues, or Shetland Pony Blues. So let's take a listen. Why don't you hitch up my pony, saddle up my black mare? Hitch my pony, saddle up my black mare. I'm gonna find my baby out in the woods somewhere, where she's a Shetland horse, where she don't deny her name. Shetland pony, she don't deny her name. Where the way she can travel is a low down dirty shame. Yeah, I grabbed her by the reins, led her round and round, that was Pony Blues or Shetland Pony Blues, and he recorded the song under both of those titles, and really the body of the song is the same, and there's a little bit difference between the intros and the outros of those two songs. But looking at what I just performed, it's going to start off with this very familiar bend in vestibule tuning, which is going to be the 2nd string on the 8th fret, 7th string on the 1st fret. And he's going to start off going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then there's I guess, no set pattern for that. Just strumming away. So you can do a few different things. You can pick those separately with the first, with your 2 fingers on your right hand, picking them, or you can or brush, whatever you want to do, but making sure that it's just those 2 strings. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that part is going to be on your 4th, your 5th, and your 6th strings. So we're going to be on our 3rd fret, and all of this is pretty much happening on the 3rd fret. We got so our 4th string, 3, open, 3, open. So very simple. That rhythm part is a little bit more challenging. So we've got going to do our snap on our 6th string, just like if we were going kind of a death letter blues thing in open G. So, and the way to go about doing that is to get your thumb, if you're using a thumb pick, if you were just using your no pick, you'd obviously just get your thumb underneath there and let it snap. And the same thing is true for a pick, thumb pick. You're just going to let it slip off the blade, slip off the pick. Come back. So we've got our snap, down, and we've got these upstrokes with our 1st finger. And that's something, if you notice from watching the footage of Son House throughout this lesson, you notice that a lot of his stuff is happening, when he's not really just tearing away and his arms going wildly. A lot of it is just thumb and 1st finger. So we've got our snap, down, up, down. Then we've got that 5th string, 3rd fret. So it's a very interesting rhythm. And he's going to go back into to that rhythm. So that's how that rhythm plays out on the right hand. What he's going to do for the verses, he's going to go back to this 8th and 7th fret on that bend, and he's going to go, got me a pony. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 6, 4. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 6, 4. Going down to our 2nd and our 3rd. And he's going to leave the 1st string open, so it's really just our 2nd string open, 2, 3, but we're going to add that 1st string. So we've got Shetland pony, she don't deny her name. She's a Shetland pony, she don't deny her name. Which we already learned, where the way she can travel is a low down dirty shame. And he's just going to repeat that formula over and over again throughout the song, and really nothing changes. The ending of the song is going to go. So on our 5th string, we're going to slide to the 5th again. 5, 3, open to the 6th string on the 3rd. 5, 5, 5, 3, open on the 6th. 0, 2, 3 on the 5th string. And that is Pony Blues, Shetland Pony Blues. So let's go to the split screen and we'll go through it together. So I don't gotta work. Well, three seas blues, they want everybody to shout. Want everybody to shout. giving her my all. Give out my women, long, long, happy home. Preachin' the Blues. This song, in my opinion, put Son House at the top of the Delta Blues players by far. I mean, the slide part, the rhythm part, I mean, and the sing, everything together, it just, for me, just puts him at the top of the top. And again, as I've referenced throughout the lesson, listen to the original recordings that are included in this lesson, because it's just so amazing to listen to him play these tunes. And even though there's so much, surface noise and scratching going on, it's still such wonderful playing that you have to just kind of overlook that side of things and pay attention to the song. Our slide really isn't doing a whole lot of work, so let's just start out looking at that. We're going to go. So it's all on pretty much the first string. So we got 12 open to the 3rd fret. And really, to me, the hardest part is that part right there. So you're picking, sliding, kind of doing almost a hammer-on, but you're sliding up to it from the 2nd to the 3rd and off. Right hand, our rhythm over that, if I can get my shirt buttons out of the way, is just going to be slumming down on that 6 and 5, and it's not so much the note that we're looking for, let me adjust this real quick, is the rhythm. So we want that rhythm, not so much an open note. So I'm muting the strings with the palm of my right hand, just placing them lightly on the strings, getting that beat, and we'll just do with the slide that we just did. Another thing you can do, which does sound just fine, but it's not something that he did, is you can just do it. You could do an alternating bass over that. So it'd just be 6/4. So that's another option, just to kind of change things up a little bit. But keep in mind that's not what he did. That's just something that you can add. So now let's take a look at the real amazing part of this song, and that's this. So with our right hand, what we're doing, and what he's doing, is going. So again, it's not really a stemmo bass, but he's just dragging. He's just dragging 6, 5, 4, and you don't want to strum it, because he's not strumming. He's just slowly dragging those strings. And again, with him not using thumb picks or finger picks, it's just amazing to listen to him do that, because I've tried it without a thumb pick, and it's really a challenge. But I found a few ways to make it easier, and number one, if you just play them at different points, so if you start up here and kind of drag your thumb back to the saddle, it's going to slow your strum, it's going to, if you're used to just doing kind of that strum, it's going to slow it down by doing that. And the other thing that I've learned is that just really pushing in. So I'm not lightly going down those strings. I'm really pushing in with my thumb, pushing down on the strings. So it's 6, 5, 4, 4, 6, 4, 6. And that 6, that first time on that 6th string, you're going to snap that third fret 6th string. The other part of the rhythm is this. So it's our 2nd and 1st strings, and we're hammering on that 2nd fret 2nd string. All together. Give me religion. Gonna join the Baptist church. So that's how you're going to fit those together. And he's going to vary his slide ever so slightly, a little bit, not too much throughout the song. And what he might do, or what he does do, I should say, is in addition to going, he's going to go 3, open to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. He's going to slide down to the 3rd, open 2nd, and go to his 3rd fret 4th string and open. So we'll go. So that's how that works with that. And he's actually going to use that for the ending of the song. So when he gets to the end, he's going to go. So that's 12, 12 on the 1st, 3, 3 on the 1st again. Then we're going to go 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Slide down to that 3rd, open. Slide up from 2 to 3 on the 4th, open, 0, 2, 3 on the 2nd. And that is Preaching the Blues. So let's hit the split screen and go through it together. That was This Little Light of Mine, a song that pretty much everybody knows, and it's a great song to do live for that reason. This is actually taken from a live recording, and I've cleaned it up a little bit because it's pretty apparent that Son House probably had been drinking a little bit, and his playing is not as steady as it has been. So what I did to clean it up really is just put an alternating bass to it, and we're just going to do 6/4. And every now and again we're going to add our 5th string and use our 3rd fret for that. So it's going to go. Nothing too fancy about that, and really this is all single string slide, and so we're going to go to our 7th fret, so 7 with a couple open notes in there, 7 7 open 7 7 open 7 7 7 5 4, going to that 5th fret 2nd string. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. So 9, and you can just go straight up to the 12, or you could go 9 7 up to 12, depending on how you wanted to sing it. So this little light of mine, or this little light of mine. Either way you want to do that. I'm gonna let it shine. So 12, 9, 7. Now we're just going to repeat again. 7 7 5 4 5 on the 2nd string. Open. Yeah, open to 4 7 5 5 3. Open 3. Sliding up to that 2nd string, 5th fret. So now we add that alternating bass. That's how he's going to end it. It's just down, up, down, and just stop. There's a really nice that I've come to realize a good variation of this song. This is actually a song that I do live myself, and everyone always starts singing along, which is a nice sing-along song for everyone to get involved with. So instead of going to the 7th fret on that 1st string, we're going to go up to the 12th fret and use our 2nd string. So same note, and we're going to do, so we're going to do our 2nd and our 3rd string. Same bass. So again, instead of using a single string on that 9th fret, we're going to do the whole. We're going to bar, basically do 5 1. So the picking pattern on that, on the 9th fret, is 2 1 2 1 2 1 all the way up. And then we're just going to be back to the single string. Again, up to the 12th fret. Go to our full 5th fret, full on the 7th. So we go to 5th. We're going to do a hammer on that 3rd fret 2nd string to the 3rd fret 1st string to 7, 3 to 5. that real quick. So that's a variation on Son House's version of This Little Light of Mine. So let's go to the split screen and work through the song together. Clarksdale's in the south. Highway's gonna be my home. Clarksdale in the south. Highway's on my mind. Well, you can have a good time there with one lousy dime. Well, Clarksdale, Mississippi, the highway's gonna be my home. Clarksdale, Mississippi, the highway's gonna be my home. Well, that's why I sit right here and moan. like I do. Nobody knows Clarksdale like I do. The reason I know it, traveled it through and through. That was Clarksdale Moan, and I'm in a different tuning if you haven't noticed that already. Open D, but we're actually in cross note tuning, so D minor is pretty much what it is. And the reason for that is that both myself and Stefan, we were listening to this song over and over again because everything about the song lent itself to just in standard tuning a blues in E, until he got to that ending where he plays some slide, and we're like, man, I know he's not playing slide in standard tuning, and so we couldn't achieve, either of us, as we were trying to figure out just what was going on, that it obviously wasn't an open D. So the only reason, or the only way that you could get that hammer on as if you were playing an E chord is to do cross note tuning. And people like Skip James and Booker White used cross note tuning. So it's not that far-fetched that Son House would have used it on a tune. And anyway, that's the best way to get this song together. So we got to change our tuning a little bit, and it's only going to be in our third string, which is going to go down to F. So we're kind of pretty much in F sharp. So if you just move your fourth string to the third fret and match that third string, and you can tell that it's not dead on. And again, because what we're going to be doing is using it noted on the first fret, because if you have it open, that's not what we want. So we're going to be using it, basically putting it back into open D. So you still want to have that D chord sound, so you might have to adjust that string a little bit lower than what F would, on your tuner will say it is. So with that, you are now in cross note tuning. And again, you have to be careful in cross note tuning, because if you're strumming away, whatever, you want to make sure that you're not going to hit that third string open. So just be mindful of that as well. You don't want to do that. And the way like the Booker White, the way that he solved that problem is he would just mute that string out. So if he was sliding or if he was playing where that string needed to be out of the picture, he would just put his finger on it and not pressing down, but just placing it on there is going to deaden that string. So we're not hearing that minor. Getting to the pattern of this song, he's going to start off with kind of the same thing that he did for Shetland Pony or Pony Blues, and he's going to go 6/4, 1, 2, 3, and that's that bend on the 8th fret, 2nd string, and staying on, and then the 7th fret, 1st string. So we're just bending that 8th, or not 8th, sorry, we're bending that 2nd string on the 8th fret. So 6/4. Then we're going to do that. So we're going to go 2nd, 1st, open to our 2nd string on the 2nd fret. Now we're going to do the hammer-ons on that 3rd string, 1st fret, and that's where cross note tuning really kind of has an advantage, is you can do that. And then it'll be open on the 4th. So the whole thing. So looking at our left hand there, we're going to be bending up on that 2nd string, so it's going to be open, on that second string, 2nd fret, 2nd string. Hammer on the 3rd string, 1st fret. And then it's open, then that's all your left hand is doing. So really just going from the 7th and 8th frets to the 2nd and 1st frets of the 2nd and 3rd string are pretty much the left hand what you're doing. You're making these two shapes. Our right hand is going to be doing a little bit more work than our left, so that so we're going to do open, 2nd, 6, 4, 2nd, hammer on, 4. And he's just going to sing over that. Clarksdale, Mississippi, highway is going to be my home. He's going to put that bend in between each line. Clarksdale, Mississippi, highway is going to be my home. So there's a little variation there. We're on that 2nd string. Open, 2, 3, 2, open. Another way you can go about doing that is just by bending it up. So we've got open, 2, 3, 2, open, hammer on, or just really bending up that string and picking it gets the same effect. Clarksdale, Mississippi, highway is gonna be my home. He'll sing a verse, and he changes a little bit, where sometimes he's just going to do that for all the lines. When he gets to the 2nd verse, he's actually going to go to this kind of, if you were an E, it'd be like an A7 type chord. So it's going to slide everything, our second string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 1st string, 3rd fret. And we're going to still use our D bass. So it's going to go. So that 1st string is going 3, 2, open. A highway's gonna be my home. Back to a rhythm. That's why I sit right here and on. So when we get to this little break, really all he's doing is just bending and strumming away on that 8th and 7th fret. But now when you're doing this and you're brushing up with that 1st finger, you got to be careful not to hit that 3rd string. And really the way that I've found my way around that is by bending that 2nd string up enough to just cut that 3rd string out of the picture altogether. So I can really hit that string and it's not going to do really too much damage. And if you listen to the original recording, you can tell that he's really just strumming away on that. And there's really no set, pattern as to what he is doing. It's just... There's any number of brushing and picking those single notes as well. Then he's going to go back down to our rhythm. Then slide back up. he gets to the end of the song, and that's what threw in the confusion originally, because there's nothing here that would, you could do all this in standard tuning and, and with an E blues. And so that's obviously what we thought was going on until he gets to the slide part. So that is a lot like the ending, or similar to the ending of Preachin' the Blues. So we've got, that's all going to be on the first string 12th fret. It's the 3rd fret. We're going to go to our 2nd string 5th fret. So that's 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 5. Slide down to 3rd, open. Slide up to the 3rd on the 4th string, open. So we've got. And that is a little bit tricky because we could actually get that done with the 3rd string if we were in regular open D tuning, but we have to use all, I believe it's all on one string. So we're going to go, so that's 12, 12, 8, 7, 5, open, 2, 3. And that is Clarksdale Moan. So let's go to the split screen and go through it together. All right, so that's closing out the slide portion of this part 2 of the Guitar of Son House. Now we're going to get into a few standard tuning songs. So I've switched guitars and am in standard tuning, so let's get tuned up and we'll get into our first song. So here's our 6th string. 5th. 4th. 3rd. 2nd. And 1st. All right, so now we're going to get into our first standard tuning song, which is going to be Depot Blues. I went down to the depot and looked up on the board. I went down to the depot and I looked up on the board. I didn't see no train, didn't hear no whistle blow. With that enable whistle and firemen ring the bell. Hear that fireman whistle and the fireman he rung the bell. Well, I didn't see my baby, but she's waving back very well. If I had the strength, I would turn the train off the track. If I had the strength, I wouldn't turn that train off the track. Yeah, she made me a promise to bring my baby back. All right, the Depot Blues song in pretty much E blues, very, very cool. We've got the intro. We've coming from open D into this song. We've got that similar 8th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret 2nd string, 7th fret 1st string, and we're going to go so 8, 7, 9, 10, 9, 7, 8. So instead of doing an A chord, he's just going to use the 2nd string and the 1st string. And so we just are going to use that 2nd fret of that 2nd string and go 1, 2, 3, and I'm using my hand to create that effect, to kind of stop it. Then he's going to go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to their E. So again, that A is just going to be that second string, and then we're going to add that, what would be an A7. If we were doing that, we're going to do that 3rd fret first string. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, E. So here we got this walk down. We've got our 3rd string and our 1st string on the 4th fret. And I believe the first time around he adds that 2nd string on the 3rd fret, so he's going to go down to his E. If you didn't have that 2nd string in there, it would just be the 3rd and the 1st going 4, 3, 2 to your E. Then we're going to take our B7 here and slide it up to the 4th, and it's going to be 5th string, 5th string, 3rd string, 1st string, up at the 4th, back to our regular B7, slide up, back down to our E. So that's a really nice. So that's the intro, and now we're just going to take this 5th string at the 2nd fret, so just like we were in E, and slide it all the way up to the 7th. And it's going to lead into, so, went down to the depot and looked up on the board. So sliding up to the 7th, and then he hits that E. So that's just 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. First string open. Went down to the depot and looked up on the board. 8, 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, open. And then we do that intro. Went down depot and looked up on the board. So instead of doing that 2 string or even 3 string, he's just going to do single string on the 3rd string. So 4, 3, 2, open. I didn't see no train, didn't hear no whistle. Now after the first verse, instead of going, he's just going to go back to that single string. So he'll go, didn't see no train, didn't hear no whistle blow. And you can see there's very little bass involved. So we're not using our bass to keep, we're not doing a consistent rhythm, I should say, with the bass. The way that he's going to end the song, he's going to go. So there's that, again, that 3-fingered that we're doing up on the 4th and 3rd. Walk it down to E, walk it back up, back down, 5th string, 6th string. And that is Depot Blues. So let's go to the split screen and we will go through it together. you might think because I'm black I'm gonna beg you to take me back, baby. Was that right or wrong? Waves up to Hickville, down to Pine, left my britches right behind, baby. Was that right or wrong? Well, I'm going up in the spring, got a mess from shaking that thing, honey. Was that right or wrong? Well, you might think because you're yellow I'm gonna give you my last $4, baby. Was that right or wrong? Yeah, you might think because you're brown I'm gonna beg you all over town, babe. Was that right or wrong? Well, what you want me to do, I can't get along with you, honey. Was that right or wrong? Yeah, I'm going up in the spring, got a mess from shaking that thing, honey. Was I right or wrong? Well, you might think because I'm black I'm gonna beg you to take me back, baby. Was I right or wrong? That was Am I Right or Am I Wrong? Probably not the most popular lyrical song of the lesson, and certainly a different side to Son House, playing-wise for sure, to say nothing of the lyrical content. But a really fun song to play. It's definitely patterned after Patton's Shake It and Break It. And our chords are going to be E7. So if we have our C to the C7 and brought it all the way up to our 7th fret, so we got our E7, we're going to do our A. The way that we're going to do the A is our thumb on the 6th string, 5th fret, so our thumb's the bass, then the rest of the fingers, just like, instead of doing a bar chord on that A, we're just using our thumb for that A. We got our D7 and G. G is done the same way as the A. So E7, A, D7, G. So not a whole lot of movement in the left hand. Our strumming pattern is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be... I'm doing a lot of it with my thumb, so we're doing this kind of alternating bass when we have with our E7. So we've got our 5th string to our 6th string. But when we're strumming down, we've got our 5th, and basically strumming almost all the way down, and letting our first finger just take care of kind of that first string. So it's almost an alternating bass and down strum. And that's going to be used pretty much throughout. So we've got our E7 to our A. Then we're going to add that element in too. So we're going to take our 3rd and 1st strings on the 7th fret. Our 2nd string is going to be on 1 fret behind. We're going to just walk it down to our G. Now he'll add that 1st string on that 5th fret every now and again. So the whole thing will go. Every now and again, he might go and walk it back up, and then back into the E7. So I opted to use the thumb pick for this song. The last standard tuning song, I just didn't use any picks at all. But for this one, just to get that strum right, for me, I opted to use a thumb pick. And you certainly don't need to do that. That was just, you know, my personal choice to do. So the intro of the song, he's going to slide up to his E7, and he's going to go. So it's E7, 7, 5, 3 on the fifth string, sliding up to that A. G7, walk down, walk back up. He's going to sing, you might think 'cause I'm lack, I'm gonna beg you to take me back, baby. Am I right or wrong? And there's real no difference throughout the song. He's just going to continue to do that over and over again. And really, there's no definite ending. It sounds like it just either they stopped the tape or he just kind of stopped playing. So what I did was create the ending of, so that's G, D7, back to G. So, which is a nice, you know, a fitting ending for this piece. And that is about it for Am I Right or Am I Wrong? So let's go to the split screen and we'll go through it together. Get that letter mailed to your backyard. Did you get that letter mailed to your backyard? So sorry that good friends have to part. I got me a letter. How do you reckon it read? Got me a letter. How do you reckon it read? Say sorry, good guy you love is dead. I packed up my suitcase, head on down the road. Put up my suitcase, head on down the road. Time I right there, baby, was on that cooling board. And I walked up right close, looked her right in the face. Walked up right close, looked her right in the face. Your little girl that died ahead of Judgment Day. All right, so this is Walkin' Blues. It's the second Walkin' Blues that we are going to look at in the Son House lesson. And again, using my thumb pick. And this is a blues in A, and the patterns, that's something that Tommy Johnson used, Charlie Patton used, a very popular style of play here. So what we're going to be doing is going to be up at the 9th fret. We've got this 3-fingered chord that we're doing. We've got 3rd and 1st on the 9th. 2nd string is going to be 1 fret behind. And with my thumb, what I'm doing is doing the 3rd and the 2nd, and letting one of my fingers, I usually use my 3rd, do the 1st. Or you could use all 3 fingers, or you could brush. Whatever's comfortable for you. And so that's just back and forth. We're going to go down to this A, so we've got back and forth, down to that 7th. And when we go to A, we don't need to do like a full A chord, or even if that, that A chord. All we need to do is cover the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd string. So the 1st and the 2nd are covered with our 1st finger, and the 3rd string on that 6th fret is going to be covered by our 2nd finger. So that's all you need for your A there. So we've got that's that part. Then we're going to slide to our 5th fret, and we have our 6th string. Again, our 3rd and our 1st string are going to all be on this 5th fret here. And then sliding back up. Now we've got our E7, which normally you would play just like a C7 all the way up at the 7th fret, but Son didn't use his pinky on that 3rd string, so you kind of have to navigate around it. So it's almost just like a C chord shape up at the 7th fret. Back to this. When I go to the ending, I do add my pinky there just to end the. Just to end it off there. But you certainly don't need to do that. You could keep true to him and not use your pinky there. So, and then we're just going to sing over that. We're going to, do you give me a letter? How do you reckon it read? She's a letter. How do you reckon it read? Saying hurry, hurry, can you love is dead? The way that he's going to end that is that E7 to the A. And really that's all there is to this Walkin' Blues, so let's hit the split screen and we'll go through it together. Well, that is going to bring us to a close at looking at the guitar of Son House. And I hope that you've enjoyed learning all these songs and looking at all these songs. There's so much really just powerful music in this lesson, and he was such a powerful presence to watch. I never saw him personally, but just watching the footage, it's so nice to be able to have that if you haven't seen it already. I think for me, watching Son House is different than watching somebody else. You know, you see a lot of the guys, the legends that are legends and great performers, but when Son House starts playing, it's almost, there's something happens to him that is really doesn't quite happen to the other players. So it's really, really a treat to be able to watch him as well as just listen to the audio in this lesson, which again reminds you to certainly take the time and really listen to the original recordings included in this lesson. And if you have any questions or any comments based on this lesson, you can get a hold of myself or Stefan through guitarvideos.com. And some other lessons that I have taught, definitely different from Son House, but I did a Masters of Bottleneck Blues DVD, which covers a wide variety of different players and different styles. Did one on the guitar of Fred McDowell, which is a lot of single string slide and some very, very cool songs there. Guitar of Blind Willie Johnson, another one that's single string slide, but again, very, very cool. I did one on the gospel songs of John Hurt, and Gospel Bottleneck Blues, which is blues players and some of the gospel songs, like This Little Light of Mine. You know, we did a Charlie Patton tune and did Book of White tune. So a lot of variety, a lot of really great lessons by many different people on guitarvideos.com. So again, thank you for taking the time to learn these songs, and take care.
I'm trying to talk about this old blues business, you know, try to get that straightened out as near as I can, you know, because they've been headed in such a uproar so long. I just heard the thing, I think it was 1920. First time I heard something like people talking about blues. I don't know what the devil is that blues. I can't see what that is. The Cox and all of them going around trying to sing blues, and hooping and hollering and going on. I was mad to the bone. I don't know about no blues. What is that anyhow? Oh, funny song. Blues. What happens to you when you take blues? Go to the river and jump in and drown yourself? Ghosts put it tough on you though, especially if you're really in love. You really mean to love, them blues will make you do something. No kidding. Yeah, they won't do the fool with. Make you wish you was dead sometime. I know I used to do it, but I take it back every time. Yeah. Well, children, I'll tell y'all one thing. Y'all take close notice to and watch it, because it's pretty true. The way that we have to live in this old world is pretty dangerous anyway. We ain't fussing, we're fighting, and anyway, it's a bad situation, bad getting along, and a lot of disasters happening every day. At night along the highway, in your homes, and everywhere. You got to be on the lookout every day, all day, about. Well, I'll tell you one thing that's happening. You take, that's the reason I thought of this little song, too, one time, if you paid attention, about minding out for your neighbors and your friends and all them kind of things, because everything look like gold. It ain't gold. Now, you can have some great friends. The heart, that's the thing about it. That heart ain't right, but you know, that face, you can have a smile, but oh, you don't know what's on that guy's heart. That's where the danger lies. Well, he can get up to you more better. Even your kindred will do it sometime. And I had a little old song, it went like this. I ain't got much time for it now, but you watch it. It goes something like this. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't mind people grinning in your face. I said, bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? You know they're grinning in your face, they'll jump you up and down. Just as soon as your back a turn, they'll be trying to crush you down. But just bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? You know your mother will talk about you, your sisters and your brothers too. Don't care how you try to live, they'll talk about you still. But just bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't mind people grinning in your face. Oh, just bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Well, that's a pretty true song, children. I just thought I'd remind you a little to watch out for that. Watch out for them, 'cause you can't tell about them. They'll grin right with you and, whoo, they'll cut your throat. They sure will if they get a chance. So you watch for that. And I'll meet y'all some more again someday, and I'll give you the rest of the woods, what it means, all that, letting them grin in your face, and without watching them. You know, they grin with you, you grin with them, but watch well as pray. So, I see y'all. Goodbye. Get me a religion. I said I'm gonna join the Baptist Church. Yeah, get me religion. I said I'm gonna join the Baptist Church. And I thought I want to be a Baptist preacher.